Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Firexfred. This music is out of hand for what is actually happening at this point during the game. There's literally nothing happening and this music is a little bit unnecessary, but I'm gonna go with it. Down here at the south we have LiquidTLO. I really need to sleep more before I do these commentaries. But anyway, down here in the south, as a red Zerg, we have LiquidTLO. I'm sorry. Then in the north up here, as our blue Terran, we have aAaSarenS. AAA, for anyone who doesn't know, is a European team. Stands for Against All Authority. Pretty strong team. Not a lot of very well known players, but definitely some good players. You know, doing well in the European scene. Hopefully we'll see more out of them. And of course the LiquidTLO, Team Liquids, LiquidTLO of TeamLiquid.net, the team. And what can I say about LiquidTLO that everybody doesn't know already? He is super awesome. He has very creative strategies. He is German. There is that. He is about to expand before his spawning pool. There's also that. And yeah, TLO, just an all-around fan favorite. So we do see the gas and the barracks coming down for Sarens. That is such standard stuff. And the hatchery coming down on 15, and probably going to get a 15 pool as well for LiquidTLO. Actually, no, he's up to 16 drones already so far. So we'll see what he's going to want to do with that. Should be a little bit careful with this sort of Overlord scouting path. If your Terran opponent really knows your scouting paths very well, or at least the typical Overlord scouting paths, he might be able to pick this off. Looks like this Overlord will probably be safe. This one maybe not so much, but of course those are just the things that you have to remember. But not even choosing to get a single Marine out, he is choosing to go for a tech lab before anything. LiquidTLO of course sees all of this. He sees the one gas, he sees the barracks with the tech lab on it, and he's probably a little bit confused at this point, wondering if it's going to be a marauder. Probably not a marauder, and actually a bunker is going down at the front of LiquidTLO's base and he has no idea about it so far, and we know that it's a Reaper coming out. Of course TLO probably doesn't know that. He decides to steal the gas and cancel it and steal it again. And now this bunker just sitting here for Sarens. LiquidTLO still has no idea about this, but he does have his spawning pull up. And let's see what he's going to want to do about this. Four Zerglings, excuse me, on the way. And now Sarens revealing that he actually is going to try and build a bunker a little bit closer to try and get that Reaper in there. But drones being pulled for LiquidTLO. He's going to try and knock down these bunkers. A couple of Zerglings coming out going to help. And looks like if he can block this Reaper, block the Reaper, TLO, block the Reaper from getting out. He targets it down with his Zerglings, but the Reaper does get in, and it's going to be able to do a ton of damage. It does so well against these Zerglings, and then popping right out again, and it is faster than everything at this point, as the Zerglings don't have speed yet. And now this Queen just hammering away at the bunker. One bunker is salvaged, and the other one is cancelled. So it looks like the pressure is over for now. This Reaper could go in and poke around a little bit. LiquidTLO doing this gas steal. And one of the things that I've heard... Oh, and wait a second. A couple of Reapers coming back in. But this Queen on creep is going to be able to chase them away. Off creep, it does not want to go at this point. And those Zerglings are going to be absolutely useless, as these guys are going to be able to basically one-shot them because there are two of them. But TLO staying on top of his spitting and not researching any sort of speed yet, not even getting gas. They're finally putting drones on gas. That is so late actually. But back to this here, LiquidTLO, I've heard him say before that when he does do a gas steal and he doesn't see any units actually attacking it, then he knows that he's going to need to build some Zerglings, because obviously the units are elsewhere doing something else on the map. So that's one thing that you can really think about a little bit. And that Queen might actually go down from these Reapers. Some nice micro coming in from these Reapers, and going to be able to take the Queen. They do get the Queen down with only one, losing only one of them. So now a bunker being placed down at the front, and this command center is put down. It's going to be morphed into an orbital command right away. Meanwhile, back at the home of TLO, we do see that speed finally coming down. One Marine doesn't know what he's doing. That would be so terrifying to actually fight a queen by yourself. With those giant arm thingies just stabbing your heart out forever. And still, actually, LiquidTLO has this extractor. I went through all of them. Assimilator, refinery, extractor. Finally lands on the right one. And now these Reapers are going to be able to take that out. We don't see a lot of Reapers used anymore, which is sort of weird. They're pretty good in the early game. Stimpack is coming down, by the way, and the metabolic boost is about halfway done as the lair starts coming down as well for TLO. So we're going to see what he's going to want to do with that. And now an Overlord poking in, seeing what he can see. He does see the factory with the tech lab on it. So he's probably going to assume either Blue Flame Hellions or tanks, as those are both very common against Zerg. Meanwhile, a little bit of a skirmish coming in here from the Reapers. The Reapers just doing so well against non-speed Zerglings at this point in the game, especially. Excuse me. The third hatchery for TLO is down, by the way, and we see siege tech being researched from this tech lab at the factory, as well as a starport going down for Sarens. So that Overlord was taken out, but he did get some valuable information in that the factory has the tech lab on it. And now 18 Zerglings being pumped out right now. Back to what I was saying before, Reapers used to be so much more used, especially in the beta. They were so good. Everyone used them. They're pretty much a staple against Zerg, as you could get so many drone kills, so many Zergling kills. But ever since their movement speed upgrade was moved to only after you have the factory, people have used them less and less. So I think we'll probably see them used more in the early game as time goes on and as the game progresses, as they're just so good for map control. As you can see, look at how many Zerglings were forced out of this, and Zerglings that hate wolf statues. That is what those Zerglings are. And now maybe a little bit of a counterattack coming in here from these Zerglings of TLO, but of course a ton of Marines here and a bunker, going to be able to hold off any sort of push that's coming in. Now we see Zerg ground attacks and melee attacks coming in, and we don't see any sort of other tech coming in for TLO, which is very strange. TLO of course does some strange builds every once in a while. Actually most of the time he does some strange builds. And now an infestation pit coming in. So using that lair to go straight for infestors. And I'm curious actually about the unit counting station. Wow, 60, whoa, a little bit of a skirmish coming on here. Losing a couple of Zerglings to this very scary push right now from Sarens. And only 54 Zerglings. Only 54 Zerglings. That is it. That is all LiquidTLO has to his name as far as army goes. Definitely a lot of drones. 19 more drones than his Terran opponent. But of course, what is he going to be able to do against this push? No Banelings. No tech really at all. He just has Zerglings. See what he's going to want to do about this push. Taking the production tab back up. 2 infestors are on their way, but they're going to be just a little bit late. A couple of Zerglings lagging back behind here. That is a ton of Zerglings, of course. And a couple of Marines stimming and going to try and see what they can do about taking out as many drones as possible. They stim in and they take out drones so quickly. Zergling's going to run in and probably going to be repelled by these tanks. TLO knows that there are tanks out there. Let's actually check TLO's vision. Oh, and that creep terminal was just taken out. But there is a drone in there scouting out. That drone, super awesome. Now we do see Hydralisks coming out with that groove spine research already being researched. So very strange. I do like this creep spread over here by TLO. He has a couple of extra queens out, just spreading creep. That's going to stop basically any sort of counterattacks or any sort of main attacks coming from this way, and he can focus all on the attacks coming from this path right here. And of course on the, he needs to remember about the air. I'd like to see some better Overlord spread actually. All these Overlords could be over here and over here. But pretty well, this hatchery was taken out by that first push, but is now being put back, and we see Zerg Carapace level 2 as well as melee attacks level 2 on their way. Take a look at the unit counting station. 102 Zerglings as well as 5 Hydralisks and 2 Infestors. So sticking to a mainly Zergling army even this late into the game is TLO, and without Banelings I'm not sure how well he's going to be able to do against all of these Marines. Of course, when the Zerglings do get into range of the tanks do splash damage to those Marines, so that's one thing to consider. And when there are just so many Zerglings like that, it might be super good. Looks like this hatchery is going to be taken out yet again, and oh my goodness, a huge counterattack over here in the main. I can't believe that I missed that. Everything is dead and dying, and oh my gosh, it's absolute carnage over here in the main. All these units that are popping out, actually no units are even being made at this point, and another big push coming in from here. Siege tanks sieged up, and all of these Marines are so low on health, they need to be healed up by this medevacs. A nice fungal growth coming in, going to be able to take off a lot of those. And meanwhile, back in the main of Sarens, everything is just dying. Oh my goodness, that's actually such a crazy strategy. So TLO counting on his Zerglings are so quick on this creep right here on this side of the map, and he was able to just counterattack as Sarens basically pushed out with everything he had. And if we take a look at the income tab, wow, okay, so there was one harvester left for Sarens. Probably not going to be able to come back from that, no matter how OP, no matter how OP mules are. Probably not going to come down from a 69 worker deficit, so he did GG out of that. But a weird strategy coming in from TLO, as can be expected. Basically just counted on these tanks not being able to push up very quickly and not being able to pull back at all because those Zerglings are just so fast, and counterattacked the main to take that game. So definitely an interesting strategy, one that I might try out here on the ladder, as I need some new things to try out. I'm tired of the old Metalopolis Baneling Zergling sort of mix against Terran, so something that you guys can try out as well. That was a great game coming in from TLO. Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Firexfredtv. I'm going to be posting some more of these LiquidTLO replays, as he did release a replay pack, and I'm going to be casting a couple more of those. So without further ado, thank you so much for watching. I will let you go on your way now.